This is the violent gentleman, Tommy Jackson. You're watching CCP podcasting. Stay inevitable.
What's happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome to Wrestling Rivalries. I'm Chris Page. That handsome fella over there, that's Eric the Lariat Steele. Oh, he just clocks me every morning. Every Saturday I get my head taken
It's a
off.
wake-up call.
It's something, and as we're having a wake-up call, let me fix your camera a little bit because, John and you you play it straight up, right? And I love that. Right, John always plays it a little bit more to the left-hand side of his screen.
Yeah.
I just can't seem to get him right. Now you're right. You're good. Now I just had to fix your stuff. That's all. You should be a happy camper, dude. I finally fixed your tag as well. I don't know if you saw that on the stream.
Right. No, I didn't see it. I'm looking at it right now.
I was like, it just said Fireside Lariat for the longest time, and I was like, I probably should put the @ symbol in there. So I did that. I threw your Instagram tag up there as well. Like, yeah, guys. So if you want to add old Eric Steele on your socials, go right ahead because that man's pretty busy.
Yeah.
Giving himself a busy month up there in the ring.
My mama named me Fireside.
Hey, just say it. We missed last week. The beautiful thing about what we do is some content we haven't even released yet, so we don't have to shoot every week. But it's become a tradition of sorts, and I'm not gonna lie, man, I kind of missed it.
Yeah, I did too. It was busy. I had to go out of town. But I missed my Saturday morning cartoon wrestling with you, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we got a good one today.
Oh yeah, we do, man. We're jumping into some midnights and some fantastics here in a second. But before we do, for those in chat, tonight 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, live right here on Twitch. Red Shaw, he will be here from Adelaide, Australia. We're gonna be watching back some wrestling. We're gonna be picking his brain about recently becoming the ACW, the Adelaide Championship Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. All that is live tonight, 4:20. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you missed the boat. It's probably why you need to come over and follow the Twitch page so you don't
Right.
miss that boat in the future. April is in full swing. We've had some fantastic Beyond the Bells this month. We released Emily Taylor's yesterday from Reality of Wrestling. We're going to end the month of April with Cha Cha Charlie next week. I think we record his show on Monday night, if I'm not mistaken. And then fucking May is dedicated pretty much to the great state of Georgia, it seems, because every week it's we got a Georgia talent. It was not by design; it just kind of happened that way. Nausism, aka the Hoochie Daddy, is going to kick us off on May the 3rd. And I'm telling you now, Eric, I dropped it in our private chat, on the podcasting private chat. This turned into, I feel like, a game of how many times he could crack me. And I couldn't keep a straight face to save my life. Like, it's entertaining. It's very funny. It's very entertaining. Rico Gonzalez is in on the 10th. We had a live stream with him last month. We'll be airing that replay the week of his Beyond the Bell. And the same for Bryce Cannon on the 17th. He came in and joined us live for a spotlight show on him, and we'll have his Beyond the Bell. All that will air the same week. And shout out to Bryce Cannon, out with a knee injury for the rest of 2024. That came out earlier this week.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it's not good news by any means, but you come back bigger, badder, stronger. So positive vibes out his way, and we wish him a speedy recovery. We had an interesting conversation earlier this week with one of the Fed heads of IWE Pro out of Georgia. So that one's going to be interesting when it drops on the 24th. They're doing some pretty big things there. We round out the month with Dion Summers, and this guy's Eric. I don't know I follow a lot of these guys on the social, so I see when their schedules come out. Man, this guy's getting booked everywhere. A
Yeah.
lot of stuff going on with Dion all over the United States. Should be a solid show. I'm so just enamored and thrilled with how the Beyond the Bell project is going. Eric, what are your thoughts on us taking this next step, if you will, and getting talent in here?
But I think it's awesome. As the channel grows, it's just going to help expose more. So it's a symbiotic relationship, and I think it's awesome for channel and awesome for all the people that get to be part of it.
I do too.
And
Go ahead.
couldn't do it without the viewers, man. So
Yeah, for sure.
thank you guys. Just keep tuning in, liking, subscribing.
I will be releasing the June calendar next week. And Eric, I need to circle around with you off air because I need to see about cycling in somebody that we were holding on. And I think you know where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
So before I finalize that calendar, I need to talk to you about it so that we can get Mr. Profit in and in the month of June. But big things happening, man, and there's a lot of things going on, behind the curtain, if you will. That I always say you guys know a lot, but think about what you don't know. So there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. What are you up to the rest of the month, Mr. Steele? There's 10 days left. You had a pretty solid booking month here in April, right?
So I I try not to take premium bookings anymore. Like maybe one or two a month. I had 3 this month, and I turned down like 3 or 4 more for this month. And the first 2 of the 3 shows have got canceled. So hoping that the next one doesn't, because I get to wrestle somebody that's very good. It's a really good friend of mine that I've only got to wrestle once. So hopefully the third one doesn't get canceled. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, that's not the news I was looking for,
Ah,
but
sorry to be a bummer, but still, stay tuned. We'll have some ups coming. No,
uh,
man, it's just the first one got canceled just to a scheduling conflict with it's like a television station, and they couldn't deviate. And then the other one, man, we just had flooding here, like like 2 days before the show, and they had to cancel the show or the day before the show, really. So we had to cancel the other show due to the inclement weather and just conditions of the road and everything. Where the ring was at was flooded in, couldn't get to the ring to get it out. So
that's terrible. Mother Nature, how dare you impede on
I know,
the great sport of professional wrestling like that? Huh?
hit us with tornadoes one week, the next week she hit us with flooding. So
Shout out Goth,
I'm
man. We
hoping
see
she's
you in
calmed
chat.
down. Yeah.
Well, I hate that happened, but everything happens for a reason. Although I do want that third one to get off the ground because I think I know who that opponent is, and I believe that's the gentleman. God, I forget his name off the top of my head. Who's your
This
opponent?
one is Zach Vincent.
Okay, not the one I thought it was.
Yeah.
Never mind. I thought it
Yeah.
was one of the other boys from the wrestlers over on Netflix. Wasn't you booked up against one of
Oh
them?
yeah, no, that one happened. That happened a long time ago.
Oh,
So
well, this shows how much
yeah.
I fucking know. Way to make me look like a
You're good,
dunce.
man.
I'm going to have to break out the
You're
cat.
good, man.
Are you ready to jump into some old school wrestling, man? The Fantastics and the Midnight Express. This is a rivalry that it extends through the '80s, man, and into the early '90s in some places, if I'm not mistaken. Do I have all the screen? Nope. Let me get all the screen.
I'm always ready to watch some Bobby Eaton.
Well, let's go ahead and get started on our first video, and we'll talk about how we put this show together, or why we put this show together for this week, and enjoy some of this from 1984. I am not familiar with what territory this is from. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't seen any of it. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to tell by the commentators, but should be at the 1 minute 40 second mark. And we'll go ahead and
I'm
get
ready to go, man.
3, 2, 1, play.
I'm pretty sure this is either Memphis or World Class. I know that's gonna have to be-
It looks like yeah, I don't think it's Memphis because I think the buckles are too big. You know, Memphis always has those small buckles. I know that the next match is from World Class.
Yes, it's probably World Class too.
It's either World Class or Houston.
Oh, yes. Houston only ran like once a month, so they kind of shared a lot of stuff with World Class. We got Bobby in there with I think we got Bobby and Bobby Eaton, Bobby Fulton.
Yeah, we do.
Bobby Fulton kind of lives in the area, like he lives about maybe an hour and a half or so away from where I live now. Where I used to live in Huntington, he only lived maybe like 30 minutes from there.
When we talked about doing the show, obviously, if you're a fan of the channel or if you followed the channel for, I don't know, a day, you know the sheer love and respect that we have for the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton, Condry, Stan Lane, Cornette, like the whole crew. So as soon as you're like, hey, you want to do Midnights and Fantastics? Yup. Because I can watch the Midnight all day.
We share a common leather of our. They're your favorite tag team too, right?
Yes.
Midnight.
Yes.
Yeah, so we share the same common favorite tag team.
Yeah,
and the Fabs are no bitches either, man. I'm sorry, not the Fabs. These are fantastic. I say the Fabs. Which, hey, the Fabs have a member of Midnight. That was Stan Lane and Steve Keirn. So,
and they had rivalry with the Midnights.
Yep.
I mean, this is just kind of back when tag team wrestling was, to me, was at a real big peak.
It was, man. Like back then, like the big tag match was normally either like the main event of the B Town or the semi-main of the A Town. I'm kind of glad that tag team wrestling is starting to come back on mainstream wrestling.
The resurgence is real. It's just like, I don't know, when it comes to WWE and AEW for that matter, when it's like they start to put emphasis on the tag teams and then for whatever reason it stops, or they just like regress instead of take a step forward. They're taking a step backwards. Now right now there's a lot of wealth. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
caught
this is a big hot spot back in the day.
Yeah, listen to that crowd.
Head scissors, headlock takeover.
They're going ballistic.
Yeah. They're into it, man. That was a big hot spot. Like, gonna whip them in. Oh, love that. It's great classic tag team wrestling, man.
Oh, look at the strut.
Oh, they gonna do the strut.
The fantastic strutting ass early in this one.
But yeah, so I mean, like, the reason tag team wrestling started kind of going out of popularity, especially like in WWF. So when you have like a tag team, that's like an extra, especially with a manager. So you go from having to pay 2 people. I mean, you pay the ref too, but for the match, you go from having to pay 2 people to 4 people, or if you got a manager, 5 people. So that's why it kind of started going out of popularity with a lot of the promoters. And like, I booked for an indie promotion. The promoter's like, I don't want more than 1 tag team match on a show, like, just because it's extra people you got to pay,
Mm-hmm.
But I like a good tag match, man.
You get the right tag team in there, though. that money turns into
plenty of money.
Turns into gold.
Yeah. Now, why aren't they trusting Dennis? What has Dennis done to make you not trust him?
I mean,
look, he wasn't going to hit him from behind. Should have shook his hand.
Listen, Condry was just trying to show him you don't turn your back on your opponents. This is what could happen. He was being a nice guy about it.
Like, everybody in this match is wearing red tights and white boots except for Dennis. He's like, you know what? I'm just wearing green and yellow. I'm going to be different.
Oh, did he pop Cornette? Oh, he tried to.
Yeah, he slid out, starts chasing. Look at that. Listen to the crowd response, too, man. Like, I love it. And Cornette selling it so good. Running away.
It's back when the crowd would react to some of the simplest spots, the simplest things, like faking a heart attack. I love it.
Look how young Cornette looks, too.
I was just about to say it. Now he's going into conniption mode.
He's like, oh, now I'll get you. Now that you're... I love it, man.
He's got to be 24. 25, man.
Oh, yeah, he's got to be
max.
very young. This is 84. Let's see.
Oh, my asthma.
But he's like 23, so he was born in 60.
He's a youngin'.
Yeah. With that haircut, he kind of looks like that one kid from, I can't remember what the character's name is. He looks like the one kid from Stranger Things.
I know who you're talking about, but I forget the character name, too.
Will, yeah. Looks like Will from Stranger Things with that haircut. I can't tell what they're chanting.
I thought they were chanting Cornette for a minute.
That's what I thought. They're working Bobby.
No, he got out of the corner. Oh, he's going to give chase to Corny again.
Oh, Bobby said, I'll kick you. Leave him alone. You leave Jimmy alone. Look at Bobby's feathery hair, man. There's just blonde locks flowing everywhere around here.
Definitely. The 80s were such a great
time. You want Cornette? Oh, man. We can go back to the 80s and the 90s. Listen to that crowd, man. They want Cornette.
Oh, don't get your team disqualified. Reset. No, I think they're taking their eye off the Express here. Maybe a bad omen for them.
Yep. Can't look. Now Cornette's going to get him. Oh, here comes Tommy Rogers. He ain't having it.
Into the knee. Here comes Bobby.
Man, just classic tag team wrestling. Like, working the crowd, distracting the referee. Loving it.
Uh-oh, Fulton's coming back. Makes the tag.
Oh, here comes Tommy Rogers.
Explosive.
I feel like Tommy Rogers, man, like, necessarily get the credit of how good he was. He was kind of a small guy, though, but he was jacked. Like, even in, like, before he retired, you saw him in ECW, and he was, like, even bigger in ECW.
The crowd was here for, oh,
I like that. So we used to do, I had a tag partner, and so the guy's name was JV Insanity. And we had completely different gimmicks, like, didn't look similar. He had, like, a crazy lunatic type gimmick. Well, we lived together, like, we were roommates for a long time, and we traveled together a lot. So if we were traveling together all the time, people would just put us together as a tag team. Even we didn't look like a tag team at all. So eventually, when people would put us together, we were like, okay, our tag name is the Odd Couple. And we would come out to the theme song from that TV show Perfect Strangers. You remember that show with Balky?
Yep.
So we would come out to that as like our theme song. We were the odd couple. But man, we would still that spot right there. So like one of us would be in a headlock, blind tag, shoot off, drop down, and catch him with something. Like that was our cutoff 99.9% of the time. That's how we cut somebody off.
You stole it.
We stole a bunch of Midnight Express stuff.
I didn't say necessarily steal it. You just borrowed.
Yeah, you know. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Keeping it alive. That's what happened there. Near fall by eating there.
The first time we came out to that music, though, that wasn't a promoter, it was a ring announcer. We came to the ring, and the ring announcer and said, "This is the worst entrance music I've ever heard in my life."
Well, you don't know sitcom television.
Yeah. I was not Balky. I don't remember the other guy's name. Tom, I think. I don't know.
I forget. I remember the show though. Condry is went ahead and took the advantage here. Oh, some jabs. Oh.
Eyes.
I love Bobby's right
Bobby
hand.
got something or? Oh man, he had one of the best punches ever.
No, he didn't have anything.
That match.
He just served up a big knuckle sandwich to Rogers.
Yeah. The only thing he had was that big bad right hand. He don't need a gimmick.
Oh.
That match that Bobby and Arn Anderson have for I think it's for the television title.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what a match that was.
Oh, Bobby Eaton needs to make our Legends of Wrestling show.
100%. Oh man, I can hear the crowd dropping a couple of choice words for him. And the fact that the Midnight Express isn't in the Hall of Fame is just
I don't even talk about
a
that.
travesty, man.
It's like that is 100% tells me that the Hall of Fame's political. That's what that tells me.
You know,
There's no
I wish they had been
reason.
able to get in while Bobby was for it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
This crowd is hot, man. I can hear some guy yelling off camera.
I heard
Yelling at the referee.
like 3 or
Get
4
back
of
here.
them.
So I'll tell you a story about the first time I met Bobby Fulton. So had to get to this show late. Like, it was on a Friday night. I had to leave work early. Took like a half day off work. I was working night shift to get to this show. So I get to the show and like, I don't know who any of these local guys are. Like, the show's like half legends, and the other half was like local guys. But I didn't know who any of these local guys were. I'm like, none of these guys are from around here. Like, none of them had real gear. There's one other local guy that I knew, Cuban Assassin. He's like the son of the legendary Cuban Assassin. So Cuban's over there like talking with all the legends, and like I knew a bunch of the legends like Barbarian, Christian York. Well, you know, I don't know if you want to consider him, whatever. But you know, and a couple of other guys. So I go over, I like introduce myself to him, and Bobby Fulton's just like, yeah. And so I go and I get changed. Now when I'm in the back, I wear basketball shorts and a t-shirt over my gear, just like not to get it dirty. I'm gonna be stretching, things like that. So I wear clothes over my gear until I'm about to go out and I'll take it off. And so like Barbarian is talking to me, and Cuban Assassin's over there like talking about me, like how I was a good amateur wrestler and blah blah blah. And so Bobby comes back over to me and is like, hey, I know you introduced yourself to me earlier, but I thought you were with those guys. Like, points at all the local guys who looked like they just came out of the backyard. And he was like, "But I'm Bobby. It's nice to meet you." Like, shook my hand and started talking to me.
You had to get vouched for, bro.
He thought I was just some local yokel goof or something.
Man, but
But
that's
I did quite a few shows with him back in the day, and he was always pretty cool.
you had to be careful on how he treats people.
I was like, nah, I get it. Yeah, he just saw me in basketball shorts and a t-shirt with wrestling boots, so probably thought that's what I was wrestling in. That was like a big no-no at that time.
Right.
It was like starting to get in vogue with like, I don't know. You would see a lot of like, I don't know. Like it just wasn't a typical thing you saw back then. If you did see it, it was normally somebody that wasn't trained properly, or just kind of came out of the backyard or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But now you see it a lot, man. And I think if it goes with your gimmick, like I don't see anything wrong with it. Like a Raven always wore
Jean shorts, yeah.
like with his yeah. Like you wouldn't see a guy that acts like that wearing trunks and boots. It's a nice leapfrog drop kick.
The Fantastics have been getting that ass whipped over the last 3 or 4 minutes here. And listen to this crowd
Listen
as
to that
this
crowd,
hot
they're
tag.
ready.
Yeah, here we go. Big pop.
You hear the
It-
crowd, but they're into it. Boom.
Yeah, every shot. Oh, there goes the referee.
Oh man, what a bump by that ref.
Oh
Dennis
no.
yeeted him with that body slam, man. Oh,
Oh, they're going to pull the win.
I like that. That was a nice finish. He's still the original Dr. Thugonomics. Oh man, I got you, God.
What is that?
Original Dr. Thugonomics. He said Eric Steele, the original Dr. Thugonomics.
Oh, man.
Man, that was a hot finish.
That
I like
will-
that. I've actually, no, I don't know if I've ever seen that. If I have, it's been a very long time. Where like the partner's holding them and you pull the partner in the way.
Yeah,
That's good.
I haven't seen that in a minute. I love
His
corny.
Cornette temper tantrum's classic too.
Non-title match, apparently.
Ooh.
Not a bad match to start things off with. So what I did was I
That's a hot crowd.
tried to find something like the next year, right? So that was 84. I found something from 85. Let me fix the screen. It's so weird that the older stuff, some of it is on, I guess it's been recently updated. That would be why. It's not weird.
Transition from a VHS.
Yeah, something of that nature. The American Tag Titles, World Class Championship Wrestling. The Fantastics are coming in as the champions, taking on the Midnights. This is 85. You ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready, man.
Let's go in 3, 2, 1, play. Well, how much?
It feels like in minutes, but
How
it's like
much?
7 minutes and 20 seconds.
You gotta be exact. That time is critical. I believe
man.
this next match, I believe you and I watched at some point doing a rock and roll show or a midnight show, but I wanted to revisit it because it's, to me, it's just so rare. It's from 1985. It's a 4-team match, which you didn't have a lot of those back then. The Fantastics versus the Midnights
definitely
versus the Rock and Roll versus the Guerreros. Do you remember watching this a while back?
Man, I don't know.
I may have watched it with
It
God.
sounds familiar, but I also don't remember watching this.
I could have watched.
Maybe because I don't remember seeing this.
Well, we're gonna see it now. Just because.
Yes, we'll see it now.
To me, it's just rare. Back in the 80s, the mid 80s, that you have a four-way tag
Oh, this is
match.
super rare, man.
All right, let's get started on it in three,
Yeah.
2, 1, play. And my
I'm gonna
dumbass,
go full screen for this one.
I am gonna step out one more time. I didn't fill up my water when I stepped out, and I left my pen in there. So give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, that's a nice arm drag. One of the Guerreros there. I think that's Eddie's dad. I think that's, is that Hector?
It's already getting exciting. The
Oh,
fans
come on
are
now.
ready, and I know you're ready, and we'll be back with this great match right after this. So everybody, and right now, Joe Watts is standing by. Of course, he's at the beautiful Myriad Convention Center in Oklahoma City. This classic matchup is underway. Let's go back to ringside.
Oh, Eddie was one of the brothers. Corey was there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Hector.
We haven't had any falls yet. All four teams
Oh.
still in contention. Of course, one member of the team is pinned, then both members of the team are eliminated from the match. There's no time limit in this match, so it could
Yep,
be
that's
simple
Hector. I can see the
towards
HG on the
end
boots
of
there.
our broadcast.
Day giveaway.
Hector Guerrero tags into Dennis Condrey of the Midnight Express. There are a lot of strategies involved in this. You can tag in a partner of any other team. You see there, Chavo Guerrero tagged in a partner from another team, the Midnight Express. Bobby Fulton could tag in Bobby Eaton if he wanted to. Bobby Fulton with arm drags.
Everybody.
Arm drags and Chavo Guerrero. And Hector Guerrero now with an arm drag. Chavo again. Bobby Fulton doing the
Now to get that strut in.
I love how I always miss their strut.
And then Rock and Roll came in and gave him the high fives. Yeah, I don't think we've seen this before, man. I should say.
I know that I've watched it. I just can't remember who I watched it with. It was either, if it wasn't you and it wasn't Goth, it was John. It's been a hot minute. So, fun fact, some news to dispense upon you. I quietly opened up a second YouTube page where I've started going through all of our old stuff and clipping everything down into individual matches. So I'll find it when I get that far. It is the page is under at Fireside Page on YouTube, and it's just gonna be for single match drops, right? So Goth, I just put up 6. Like I literally, when I say quietly, like last night.
Yeah.
So I put
Yeah.
up 6 matches that Goth and I did from like October, and you can tell, Goth, I know you're in chat. You can tell the weight loss that you've had from October to now. It is night and day. Congratulations to you, sir.
Yeah.
I'll find
He
you.
lost quite a bit now, right?
Yeah, I think he's down 75.
That's awesome, man.
And the second piece of news, I started reaching out to some local companies. Like I'm gonna probably get back into the business. I just won't be able to do it
There you go.
as an active competitor. I want to come in and do it as a manager.
You want to be a manager? You want to be the cornet?
I don't want to be a cornet. I want to bring CCPE to Croatian live. That's what I want to do.
It live and in Technicolor.
There you go. Just give me a microphone.
Love it.
I'll take a right hand every now and then when the time calls for it, and I'll take my shellac.
Run away and throw a temper tantrum when your guys lose.
Yep. Well, what? And I honestly,
Oh.
nice little go back and forth here. And
Yeah.
a little knuckle bump.
Okay.
Oh,
Then they dap each other up. Punch a heel. Ricky Morton with the little shimmy. Ricky Morton.
man. I can't believe you haven't seen this before. I'm so glad that you're going to watch it with me. This was
Like
good.
it's so rare too.
It's not about
The
a
Hector and Chavo
championship.
Classic.
Yes, fucking right.
Yeah.
No,
And Hector was so good too. I mean, Chavo was good too, but like Hector was really good. I think Hector was the oldest of the brothers.
got a cage hanging above the ring too. I wish I knew where this came from. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment below if you can tell me where this match took place.
Let's see.
I don't know if it's in the video description.
95. So I was trying to see if it was in here or not.
Conjure thought about tagging. He's like, no, I don't want none of Hector. When Guerrero-
So it's from World Class on February 10th, 1985. So it probably is a house show because it aired on like Power Pro Wrestling in '85. So I'm not sure like if they have the whole event on here or not.
Look at Fritz getting ahead of the curve.
Is this World Class? Or was this mid South? Oh yeah, this is Bill Watts. So they had Jim Ross on there earlier. I don't think Jim Ross ever worked for Fritz.
No, okay.
I think he went from
This
Mid
is from
South to WCW.
He did. Oh, that is Bill Watts. I could barely hear the match volume through my headset, so.
It's Cutter making faces at Ricky Morton.
What are we, 12? That's like my favorite line, really and truly, to use at people that are just being fucking stupid. What are,
Yeah.
what are we, 12? Come on now.
We acting childish.
Or it depends on the level of stupidity as well. Sometimes I'll be like, what are you, 6? Yeah.
Depends on how childish you be. I'll give you a couple years or take a couple
So-
years off.
Listen, we had just because this match is fantastic. Roll up there. We had one of our haters tried to say, in regards to
Oh, man.
spike suplex, regards to CCP.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you, Chinese? It's like, are you,
What?
were you born this stupid? I'm just curious. Yeah, man, I went through and deleted a lot
my
of the negative comments. We're not doing that.
Come on, man. Man, I tell you what, Hector Guerrero was a human suplex machine there a second ago.
Throwing people around like it's going out of fucking style, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Another rock and roll in there cleaning house.
so
Ah, man, we got a team. We got a. It's a lemon style. Fantastics were going in the Guerreros. Oh, Ricky bleeding. Help Ricky.
yeah, help me. I'm gonna need for you to get on the phone with old Ricky Morton and tell him we need to sit down and talk on Beyond the Bell.
Man, I haven't talked to him in a very long time. I'd like to see him again, honestly, man. He's always entertaining to be around.
And while we're in the process, need to go and get your match with his son.
No, somebody out there book it. Somebody book it. Eric Steele and Kerry Morton. I've been needing to get revenge on him for 20 plus years. I teach him. Are you trying to fight out of that corner?
No, they're not gonna let him.
Right cross.
Oh,
Crockett
what's going
rolling
on
it
here?
out, trying to
Oh, atomic drop.
Ricky
An
Morton
inverted atomic drop, I should say.
saging kind of a front atomic drop. There you see he's bleeding profusely from the forehead.
I mean, I don't know profusely's the word, but he's definitely bleeding.
Yeah. It's
Let
not a crimson mask.
no, but let Bobby get a hold of it for with them right hands. Let him come
Yeah.
across the top of it.
An arm whip.
He'll bust him open.
Oh, DQ that
A
man.
little low kick there. A little low kick.
Yeah, we're just
Can't see because he got the blood in his eyes, so unintentional, we'll say.
no. That was a straight mule kick to the teeter.
He's straight taking him right to DK City.
Undue punishment.
Uh-huh.
Rules for
Population eating.
pile driver. Dennis
Yeah.
Condrey
Oh,
for the pile driver.
Oh no,
Gets it.
I'll drive him. We're gonna get a backdrop.
no, he got him that third time. Oh, look at that sell.
Oh,
What a sell.
that was cool, man.
Pile driver.
That was cool.
The $10,000 purse at the Midnight Express.
Unbelievable.
Probably win it at this point, but Dennis Condrey wants to administer
That was. I've never seen that sell before from a pile driver, man. I don't think. Maybe from like a spike flip pile driver or whatever they call them nowadays. Destroyer.
Canadian Destroyer. The most unprotected
Yeah.
finish in the industry now.
very, very well.
I don't know. Is it more unprotected than the super kick or the DDT?
Tremendous fighting.
I think they're all neck and neck, to be fair.
Yeah.
Kick Bobby.
I really do.
I saw I was wrestling a guy that does like a Canadian Destroyer. And we're just saying where he's calling for the Canadian Destroyer. He goes to give me the Canadian Destroyer like halfway, like when he get up here, like I stop him. I start shaking my head, give him the old Alabama slam.
That would be a good counter spot.
Yeah.
Could be it. Ronnie West goes down for the count. Lateral press.
I was like, count it, Riff.
Ricky Morton kicks out.
Uh-oh.
I haven't heard the term lateral press in a while either.
Too long on that one.
Lateral press.
They hesitated just a little bit too long, and he who hesitates is lost.
Mark Ronaldo used to do that. Used to call all of it lateral press, side press,
Yeah.
back press. There's a throwback.
Vertical press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Express.
I thought he was a good announcer, man.
I did too, man. I thought
Good, or a good commentator, I should say.
I think the mental health is real, and
Hammering away still.
Yeah.
Ricky really needs to make the tag.
if I had somebody screaming in my ear,
Guerreros, will they hit the Rock and Roll eliminate?
I don't think I could handle that either, man.
no, I would drop the headset and just here you go. You have a good day.
Yeah. I don't even know if I would have been that kind of, but gonna get the big pot press.
Can he get the tag to Robert?
Ricky.
He took all the brunt of that blow to the small of his back.
Rock and roll. Rock and roll.
Tag made.
Oh, evasive roll. Oh, I thought he was gonna hit the roll.
Bobby gets it. Rick fires
Not yet. Not yet. We're gonna get the leap.
away on Bobby.
Oh, I thought we were. I was gonna run out and jump.
Oh.
Bobby's gonna catch him.
Down again.
He's fighting his way.
Down again. Ricky. Come on, Ricky. Ricky's got to get up and get that tag. See Robert trying to
He got it.
There we go.
spin now.
Got the big dive.
He was a fresh man. Ricky was able to hold off the Midnight Express for probably 4 or 5 minutes. He's got him at least.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
The fresh man in now.
Oh,
Ronnie West
the referee can't see it. Oh, with the shoe.
Cordy with the
Where's
shoe.
the tennis racket?
Didn't need it.
Hit him with
Had
the
his
heel of that
shoe.
loafer.
Oh, the Midnights pull the win.
Midnight, still another one. They still another one. Got him another one. Oh, we got a no DQ now.
Yes, we do. I tried to keep a little mix here. When I saw this is the Midnights and Jim Cornette taking on the Fantastics. No disqualification. 1988. So
Oh man, look,
this has got.
Corny can get involved in here.
Let's find out because I have never seen it. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, play. The old school NWA logo.
I wasn't playing. Kept hitting play if it wasn't working. All right, here we go.
Okay. Tell me when you get to.
They got the streets on.
Yeah, tell me when you get to 10 seconds.
I'm at 12 now.
Bad match.
That's a hot finish, man. It doesn't make sense to me why they have to tag you, but it is what it is, right?
Facts. That didn't make a whole lot of sense to me at all either, but it is what it is. Main event time. This is again from 88. It's in the NWA. It's the Fantastics and the Midnights. Let's make it happen.
Oh.
It should be at 1 minute 30.
It's not want to cooperate here.
It should be at 136.
136?
Yep.
Okay. Everything just started jumping here for me. 1 second. All right, I'm good.
3, 2, 1, play.
Teams certainly don't like each other, but beyond that, they are so evenly matched. As evenly matched as you can get two teams in the NWA.
Both fast, quick, aggressive. They know what they want to do. Takes them.
Oh. Nice. They get him started hot and fast.
They were good. Their chemistry is great.
Yeah.
Even with, they had fantastic chemistry with Condrey, and they've got really good chemistry with Stan. Oh, there's just...
That's true, man. Like, the Midnight were so good with so many people, too. Fantastics, the, rock and roll. Road Warriors.
I think with Stan Lane in the mix, though, it probably allowed the Fantastics to work the higher speed, the quicker speed matches because Stan could get in there and go with them like that.
That's true.
No knock on Condrey by any means, but
yeah, he's just different style, man.
Yeah.
The ground and pound. Their Stan's gonna, bump around a little bit more, go a little bit faster. Oh, Pee Wee Randy Anderson in here. We went from lover boy to sweetness.
The United States
US
Tag
Tag
Team
Titles?
Championship. That's right.
I'm gonna stay tuned now.
That always felt like such a consolation prize.
Yeah. I mean, that shows you how big tag team wrestling was then. They had a secondary tag team title. There's so many teams. Tag team wrestling was so hot. They had 2 titles.
You mean, and then you book house shows and you got 2 tag champions. You got titles on each show.
Yep.
That's money in the bank. And you know what his mother thinks about money. Do we ever?
Oh.
He drops down. Nice move, nice.
Nope, got caught.
Nice. Hey.
Nice move. As you see Cornette one more time, these things are so important early part of the match. Like we said, it gains momentum. And arm drag's not going to win you a match.
But that momentum, that momentum will win you a match.
You gotta wear him down.
He's trying. What can I do? What can I do to counteract this?
Well, believe me,
Gotta wear him down.
all the smoke that he blows, we talked about that earlier. He has his men prepared. Oh, yes. They come in with a strategy. They know what to
They working a quick pace here, man.
Yeah, they are. Oh, he landed on his feet. The cameraman missed it.
I know. I saw him do that in the cowboy boots in the tag match, and I was like, that's impressive. Tommy Rogers was good, man.
Got a strut happening. Thank God we had a cutaway.
and saying thanks to the people
Now, Tommy Rogers, he was on the that awesome Heroes of Wrestling we watched, wasn't he?
What's that?
He was on that awesome Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view we watched, wasn't he?
That's the best event of all time. I can't remember.
Remember that?
I know what I think I
I
told
feel
you.
like he was. Let me see.
Yeah, I told you what I want
Just
to.
instantly blocked it from your mind.
I did. I know the next special stream I want to do with you is watching No Holds Barred.
That would be awesome.
Oh,
That would be awesome.
what's that smell?
No, Tommy Rogers wasn't.
Was he?
Oh yeah, it was Marty Jannetty and Tommy Rogers. They
Right.
tagged against the Samoan SWAT team.
That's right. That's right.
Trying to bite out of this headlock right now, though. He might be pretty jacked, Tommy Rogers, but you know Bobby Eaton.
And the hair is just. It's still that's a thing of beauty and a thing of art in its own way.
Oh, his mullet was great, man. Long flowing. I like those tights too, man.
Yep, they're now in matching gear.
Yeah, I don't think Bobby and Dennis ever had matching gear.
I would not be surprised.
Head scissors.
Oh,
That was nice. These guys have great chemistry together. I like how he runs, steps on Bobby when he's going over.
I'm sorry.
Dude, this crowd is-
That's not what I was trying to do. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This crowd is into it too, man.
They've been into every match that they've had. It's
True. I don't feel like you get crowd reactions like this anymore. Like there's crowds that are still into it, but it's different now.
yeah.
Bounced the ropes off his head this time. He's trying to come in.
Uh-oh.
No, not now. They should have trademarked that www. Made some money off the internet, so.
AC Stan on the floor. Stan tried to get back in the ring, and Bobby Fulton just knocked him right out one more time. Cornette is, even though things
Cornette's looking a little
confidence about him, and that's because, you know, like we said before,
a little verklempt.
A little worried for his gun.
Yeah.
That's a word you don't hear very often. Very McClements.
Throwback to some Saturday Night Live and some Mike Myers for
Yeah.
those out there.
Back when SNL was good, man.
It was, yes, fantastic. Oh, my
You had so
little
many good
verklempt.
people. And the Chris Farley days too. Like I always like the
Don't get me started.
when Chris Farley and Sandler were the old couples. Like, let's look at the Zaggots guy.
I mean, I always go to the van down by the river.
Now live
that was
down by the
awesome.
river sounds like an American dream, man.
You remember that time that you got into the ring and had that match? That was awesome.
That was awesome.
You remember when you tied your left shoe on a Sunday morning? That was
I
awesome.
remember there's one. I don't remember like who it is. He's like, I think he's interviewing a politician or something. He's like, hey, remember when you like ran for president? And like the person that he interviewed lost. Like they ran for, I think it was president, but I don't remember who it was. And they like, I was like, oh, that was awesome. Chris Farley's brother does stand-up comedy now.
That hurts a lot deeper. Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name is. I think I saw like a couple clips of him. He's pretty funny.
Oh, dude, how can you forget the Farley, Spade, and Sandler doing
They were just girls at the mall.
yeah. Lay off me, I'm starving.
Man, that was like and then I don't remember if Farley was in or not, but I remember Rob Schneider was like the main guy on it. You like the sauce, huh? It was from like the '90s run, man. That was my favorite. Like, cause even when it got a little bit older with like Norm Macdonald was great on there. Celebrity Jeopardy with Will Ferrell. Like they would do the Sean Connery.
Oh man.
We have seen crazy things between these teams.
Oh, what's going to happen to Bobby? Atomic drop. Oh man, Tom Rogers laying on that concrete floor. I don't know, it'd be worse giving that drop kick or taking it.
It looked like his face almost bounced off the floor.
Yeah, that would the no for me, dog. I wouldn't want to take that or give it. I think Shivani's getting hot too.
Yeah. Looks like the Midnights are coming in as the U.S. Tag Team Champions here.
They had those belts for a long, long time. Man. They were.
Oh no, consolation prize.
Yeah.
Horsemen were on top, and
Horsemen and Road Warriors for the main ones normally, you know.
What a great athlete. The Primate, look, he takes his time though.
Bobby's hair looking like a lion's mane right now. Oh, that was a nice catapult.
Now that really hurting. Bobby Fulton is really hurting right now. That was chest first, maybe throat first. And that man doesn't like what he sees.
This time might have had. This might have been after or around the time of Nikita and Dusty as a tag team too.
yeah.
Oh, that was nice. Land on the turnbuckles, back elbow.
Little game of cat and mouse right there. Bobby Fulton was not as hurt.
No, Bobby's begging
I
off.
believe he was.
Give Bobby a break.
Oh no, Bobby just needed to try and gouge the eyes, but he got caught.
Big hip toss. Oh, Hurricane Rana. Up him out, Stan. Up him
Morton did it better.
out. Yeah. Like now you see everybody do it. Oh, excuse me.
Sorry, I started it.
I used to see everybody do it so fast, but like then, oh, that was nice. I like that. That was a nice cutoff. But back then, I was like a slower, like a roll through, you know.
He took a 2 steps back, and he was in his own corner. That enabled Stan to reach up that quick. Man, he's
I like that cutoff. That was nice.
Yeah. Well, Rogers is in a bad way.
Oh, them educated feet.
another mark of a championship team.
Hey, Roddy, kick.
Tried to kick him in the back of the head, but
And that's exactly what they're doing. They're not going to let up at all now. Watch it.
I don't know how that one worked out. Looked like he got him on the side of the face. I think Rogers taking Stan Lane kicks. That would not be a good Saturday night.
So schooled, and he is such a fine martial arts athlete. His sweet Stan.
Begging for that tag now. Oh, oh, they got him.
Tag team wrestling right now. To perfection. Referee distracted. No tag made.
Just right into that hammerlock right there, man, out of the kick out.
Well, they are solidly behind the Fantastics right now.
Of course they are.
If they can just keep it up. United States Tag Team Championship.
We'll get the snapmare out of it.
No,
Nope.
oh, that side elbow. Oh,
Oh man, what a kick!
Now you see, David, it's slowed down a little bit. Oh, yeah.
Don't talk about Stan's educated feet. Bobby will just give you a big country boot.
a Huntsville stomp.
Hey, see, Bobby.
Oof.
Big whip.
Still he has that instinct. Tommy Rogers it just took a second. He moved out of the way, but he can't make the tag. But see, that's all he can do is move out of the way right now.
So you try that with me.
Offensive wrestling
See what
now with
happens.
Tommy Rogers. It's all defense right now. Boy, that's a little more vocal now. Here comes Bobby Fulton. Out to Cornette.
He's giving chase.
And he just,
See, punches the referee away.
Cornette just slapping him in the face like he's a bitch.
Just paintbrushing him. I mean, looking for a tag. Bobby drops him.
But that was a wrong
Plants him
thing
with that
for Bobby
fist.
Fulton to do.
Fulton ain't gonna let that happen. He's too close to the corner.
By Cornette. Did not hurt him any, but it
Man, I think I'm about to drop out of here just a couple minutes early.
Yeah, do what you need to do, man. If you gotta bounce, tell the people bye.
Alright, man.
This will be out and just we'll be done with this in just a few minutes. This I will anyway. So go ahead and do your
Yeah,
thing.
only got about me.
executed to perfection.
Hey guys, hey, thanks for joining. Make sure you subscribe on Twitch and on YouTube. Give us a follow. Thanks for spending your Saturday morning with us. You guys have a great day.
We'll see you, bud. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
But Tommy
Yes.
continues to
Yep.
come back. Fans, don't you dare go. Kenny, hold on. He's in the rope. Kenny, he's got it.
Oh, they took it to break.
Rogers almost got out of it, but Bobby stopped him, and he's been working on that arm. Rogers can't.
Got him in the hammer lock.
Bobby Fulton can't come in.
No, he is in a real vulnerable position right now.
Bobby's taking the beating here, or excuse me, Rogers is taking the beating for the Fantastics. It almost makes me think that we're gonna have a title
Bobby
change.
will drag him back towards the corner. Here he goes again.
Oh, he tried.
Shotgun style.
Can he make it? He needs to make the tag.
He's not going for the tag. Oh,
He's got to get over.
that one's not gonna feel good.
Come on. Can he do it? Can he do it? Get there. Beautiful Bobby's not getting anywhere anytime soon. Turn the other way. He's going towards the neutral corner. He's going to turn around. See, can Bobby Fulton take?
Wow, they're giving him like 3 segments here. Oh, that was a little provocative.
He's out on his feet. He's out. It's instinct right now, David. How can this young man continue to bounce back? What courage, what determination it's taken.
Uh-oh, scoop slam. Bobby's going up top. Alabama jam. Let's go. Let's go.
Here he goes.
Let's go.
The rocket launcher.
Oh, no, elbow drop. Oh, teased me with it. Another near fall.
This is not shocking.
Absolutely insanity. Pandemonium. This is the 80s at its finest. Cornette's livid.
All right, we're back. Tommy Rogers, Bobby Fulton. Get Jim Cornette in the ring. He's livid.
You know, David, this is
There we go. There's no doubt about it, man. When you talk about some of the great wrestling rivalries of the past, like that, just seeing some of this stuff back today, I've seen some of the fantastic stuff in the rock and roll or the Midnights, but I hadn't seen all of it. And I'm sure that this is just scratching the surface of what they were able to do. But they started this thing in the early to mid '80s, and it carried it through the late '80s. They were touring territories. They were putting on classics. Their storytelling is phenomenal. It was just good stuff, and deserves to be looked at as one of professional wrestling's rivalries, if you ask me. This has been a fun Saturday morning. Goth, appreciate you hanging out with us and taking a peek at some old Midnight Express and the Fantastics. Wrestling Request Lives every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Inside the Indies every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Wrestling Spotlights on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's all live on Twitch, so if you haven't already, go down below. Hit the links, do the things, give us the follows, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, come over to Twitch and hit the follow button. It's all free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us get to where we're headed. And all that being said, the road is just getting started. Professional wrestling has a way of bringing people together, and it will continue to do so. And we're just glad to be a little small piece of that. So for my co-host, Eric Lariat Steele, I'm Chris Page. We will see you next week for some more of CCP podcasting. You guys have a good day.